This is another deep water diving accident. It was going to be a normal voyage of discovery, but it turned into a horrible nightmare. This is today's cut. What Mully wants to tell everyone is blackmail. Wong Kai's pre-fist event, February 2007, in the dense forests of northern Florida, dotted with crystal clear springs. They are like a gateway to nature, gateway to another world. Aranmo House ownership is one of them. For most tourists, he is just a peaceful underwater in the forest. However, beneath his calm and still water, hidden is a complex underwater cave system, attracted over the years, with a dedicated explorer Ron Simon Temple 50. 3-year-old Ron is no ordinary cave diver. He is an experienced explorer. Underwater topographic mapping, extremely rigorous. He's in Aranmo's room. Countless hours have been invested in holding power. Draw a map of hidden passages. His records of these underground sewers. Not just out of interest, it is a unique hydrographic treatment of Florida. The scientific contribution of learning. By Valentine's Day 2007, Ron is already in this spring. Conducted 43 dives. Accumulated 769.6 meters of survey data. Every record. It's all done by him in hours underwater. Accurate measurement of channel distance. Record landform features and drawing on an underwater tablet. It was a labyrinth scene that few people have ever seen with their own eyes. Alan Meister Pool Springs. Yes, even experienced caves. For divers, it's also challenging. Its passages are known for their rich sediment deposits. Just disturb the bottom of the hole slightly. Fine sediment floats in the water. Reduce visibility to 0 in seconds. The cave is divided into 2 labyrinthine passages. There are multiple branches and connections. Form a 3-dimensional underground mystery. The deepest point is about 14 meters, and most areas are around 9 meters due to the cramped space. Standard backpack. The submersible screen cannot pass smoothly, so Ron used side-mounted cylinders. The cylinders are mounted on both sides of the body for easier passage through narrower passages and maintain a backup gas source. February 14, 2007. It was an ordinary adventure day for Ron. He arrives at the spring in the morning. Park your vehicle in an inconspicuous spring in the woods. Near the mouth, the day is sunny. Pleasant climate. Ideal for his planned underwater survey. Will work. He skillfully assembled the side-mounted diving gear. Examine every piece of equipment carefully. Includes primary and secondary lighting, regulators, pressure gauges, and mapping tools. Make sure everything is running smoothly. Before 10 a.m., Ron dives into the water. Crystal clear springs surrounded him. He gradually descended to the dark entrance of the cave. At the entrance, he checked the equipment again, then followed the spring water slightly upstream into the cave. He followed a permanent path, set the guide rope line forward, skillfully crossing the channel head at the entrance. Cypress Feet was already familiar territory to him. He has passed many times. The main light is powerful through the darkness. Illuminate the front. The limestone structure pointed him in the right direction, down to about 61 meters. Ron arrived at a previously recorded T. Fond Fork. According to the mapping plan of the day, he chose the left channel. This is the branch he wants to explore further. Channel here. It gets narrower. He had to adjust his position to avoid disturbing the sediment. After passing through a narrow opening, the passage is slightly open. Form a dynamic with multiple small branches. He started the systematic mapping work here. Measure distances with precisely calibrated measuring lines. Record depth with a pressure gauge. And draw the channel structure on the underwater writing board. As he moves, he records. Continue to advance into unexplored areas. 3 hours later, Ron has completed the mapping of 70.5 meters of new channel data. In such a complex environment, that's a remarkable achievement. He was at a depth of 8.5 meters. Remains within the normal range of the dynamic system. However, danger is quietly emerging at this moment. When he checked the pressure gauge, suddenly found the air pressure in the main cylinder drops much faster than normal. Maybe it's because of a slow leak. It could also be due to continuous traversing of narrow areas, results in increased oxygen consumption. For whatever reason, stress alone indicates he doesn't have enough energy left to return safely. Ron immediately switched to the backup cylinder. It turns out that the amount of gas left is also lower than expected. Form becomes critical. Both cylinders are close to depletion, and he's still far from the exit. No first half carvers share the air. We have no reserves. He is facing the cave, the diver's worst fear. Exhausted in a labyrinth of caves, Ron's estimated time for the case has surfaced. Anxiety begins to spread. Famous Pre-Mobile figure West Skiles United. Local law enforcement request to check if Ron is in the Sovereign Eye area, but his vehicle was not found. The search area expanded the next day. Wes and Gilhiner are two highly regarded. The leading edge of the mirror hole. The inconspicuous spring in the forest. Mouth found Ron's. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office received the call immediately. Rescuers arrived at the scene within 30 minutes. Quiet Spring. It quickly became a tense rescue center. The diving team is ready to go. Launch a rescue operation. February 15, 2007 at 3:55 p.m. Markran launched for reconnaissance diving. He infiltrates the cave system steadily and skillfully, deep into about 198 meters, searching for nearly an hour. He was spotted on Ron's trail and returned to the surface. The water in the cave is sometimes clear during the search. Sometimes the pubic corner hole becomes cloudy. The team reassessed its strategy to Ron's unfinished map and pen. Remember the detailed analysis. Revealed key information. Mark initially entered a different channel, rather than Ron might have chosen to tune that day. Check the route. After realizing this, Mark launched his second dive at 5:06 p.m. This time, according to Ron's records, chose the correct channel and set up a guideline on the way. Convenient for subsequent divers. 5:48 p.m. just 42 minutes later. Mark admits water, but this time it brought back Ron's body. This is Ron in the underwater cave, the 44th dive-in, and before he died, he'd done it 43 times. Who would have thought? This will be his last time. Recovery of remains. Revealed the last time he... A few important details in diving. Ron was found about 91.4 meters from the entrance. Body posture as if still swimming. A breathalyzer was thrown in his mouth. The other trailed behind. This is standard security configuration to provide backup air. Both cylinders are completely depleted. The data log in the diving gear shows he was deepest in his last expedition, more than 8.5 meters. The most touching thing is, Ron still persisted in the moment of life and death. It has become a new 70 to 0.5 meter channel policy meeting. Even as the situation becomes increasingly critical, he still maintained his focus on the work. This work is exactly what he did to underwater caves, the greatest contribution to the field of exploration. When the oxygen starts to run out, he starts to control the rhythm, to export in an orderly manner. Directional movement, he's in a relaxed breathing position. To maximize the savings of remaining oxygen, this is from the time he was found. The moving posture can be seen. Time goes by minute. He traverses a labyrinth of passages efficiently, while racing against a relentless countdown. Sometime, his host screen is completely empty. He switched between spare bottles and continued towards the exit. What he has at this moment, all that's left is the limited oxygen in the spare bottle. When he was about 91.4 meters from the exit, we're running out of fled oxygen. He's still swimming. Keep trying. But the remaining, there's not enough air to support him for the distance. His final moments underwater were sustained. focused on moving towards the exit, even the one that ran out of oxygen for the last time. His will remains unwavering. Florida's underwater caves are both fascinating and unforgiving. Despite sound training and equipment accolades, cave diving still a small and medium-sized problem that can evolve rapidly. Activities that turn into deadly emergencies. Exhausted breathing gas in the cave. In this professional dive, one of the most terrifying scenarios. That's the end of today's video. See you next time.